here. I'm heading into the last weekend of spring break, and I have a bit of a different TBR because I have some books that are on my spring TBR, some books that are just books I've had on my TBR for a while, some are some new releases. So I have a 4-book TBR. The 2 books I'm going to focus on in the early part of this reading vlog, like today and tomorrow, is going to be I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. And his dad is a serial killer, so he's kind of grew up around crimes, and now he's sort of helping the police with a crime scene to prove that murder does not run in his family. I've had this on my TBR for so long. I kept trying to read it in all the Halloweens, and it just did not work. So, and I have a student that I think would be really interested in this one. So I'm going to read this one next. And then, just as a little bit of a palate cleanser, I have I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen. I read 2 Maureen books and really liked both of them. So this is her first book, I think. And it has to do with like K-pop or like K-dramas, which I don't really watch a whole lot of K-dramas. Maybe this will motivate me. So these are going to be my primary books for this reading vlog. The books I hope to finish. I have 2 pretty much empty days. I hope it's nice and I can like wander about and go bike riding and stuff. And then the other 2 books that I would love an opportunity to read is Always Jane by Jen Bennett. This is her new release. It has a dog on the cover. It has to do with her dad works as a chauffeur for these family, and there's a love triangle in this. I'm not the biggest fan of love triangles, but I will read anything about Jen Bennett. So, and then the other one I just got is Hotel Magnafique by Emily J. Taylor, and this is another one that's been high on my TBR. So I don't know. I do not know which one I am going to read first. But I think I'm going to pick up I Hunt Killers because I really wanted to read this, and it's been on my spring TBR, so I'm going to start this. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I just filmed for a little bit. I don't know what I want to watch. I don't know if I want to watch Heartstopper. I don't know if I want to watch Friends. I don't know what I'm in the mood to watch, but I think I'm going to pick this book up. So I'm going to go do a few things, and then when I read about 50 pages, I will give you guys an update. Bye, friends. Here, it is a lot later. It is like 6:20. I was planning on vlogging all day, but my day took a really weird turn at the start of it. I went to a yoga class, and then I signed up for like a Reiki session with a reading attached, but I did not expect all the information I was going to get out of the reading, so I had to spend a couple of hours trying to communicate with everyone that I had to tell things to, so it was just a longer day. I went shopping, I went to yoga, I went for a bike ride, I caught up a little bit on my podcast. Not a whole lot of reading has been done, but I am going on sprints on Margaret the Word Nerd's channel later on. I can say that I have read 30 pages in I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. Not a whole lot has been read, but I am liking what I've been reading, but I'm probably going to wait until I'm 50 pages in to give you guys a more solid update, but I literally just sat down. It has been a crazy day, I'll say that, but it was very interesting. I find Reiki sessions really interesting. So, but my goal is to read a little bit more before I actually go on sprints because I just really haven't read all day, and I feel better after I read a little bit. So, but I am liking it. It's a male-led character book. It involves serial killers. I'm intrigued. I just don't have enough information to give you guys an update. So I'm gonna go try to read to page 50, then I'll give you guys an update, and then we'll chat. This reading vlog, I don't know what this reading vlog is going to become, to be very honest with you, but I'm happy I'm reading this. So I'm going to go read this, and then I'll check in with you guys. Back. It's Sunday, April 24th, my last day of break. So sad. But I did wind up reading last night on sprints on Margaret the Word Nerd's channel. We had caffeinated covers and retrieving books on there. Really, really fun. I hope they invite me back for more because it's fun. I actually got, between then and I started reading about 200 pages of I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. I'm really, this is a very interesting book. I said it before, I don't often read books that have male lead characters. Normally it's female, so I like that. He is a very interesting character. So his name is Jazz, and he is the son of the most prolific serial killer in history, and murderers start happening, and he was sort of raised to look at a crime scene as a killer, sort of like Dexter, I would say. He's not a Dexter character, but he is convinced that a serial killer is running afoot, so he takes his girlfriend and his best friend who has a blood clotting disorder, so he bruises very, very easily, and they're trying to solve this murder. And then he learns that the murders that are currently happening are connected to his father that's in jail. he is a little bit of a nosy character, I will say that. Like, it sort of reminds me of when I read my cozy mysteries and I'm, like, yelling at the main character, like, why are you doing this? You should not be getting yourself involved in these situations. But it's very a fun, engaging read. It's really, really quick read as well. I finished watching season 1 of Friends, which has been a lifelong dream of mine, just to rewatch Friends. I've watched the first couple of seasons, and I've probably seen the last couple of seasons, but I haven't seen them all, like, in order. I'm also watching The Adam Project because there's a podcast I'm listening to on Monday that's doing a review of that, so I want to watch that. But yeah, so my plan for today is to go to yoga, read a bit more of this. My dream would be to finish this book today. I don't know if that's possible, but that's my goal. And get ready for work tomorrow. We are heading into testing week, which means Monday, Thursday, and Friday we have school, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we have testing. So that will break up the week a little bit. Tomorrow's also like a dress-up day for the staff, so I have to get that all organized, buy candy for my students. So it's just a bit of a busy day. But I'm going to head into town so I can go to yoga. I have to do a little bit of shopping, probably get some lunch as well, and then I will come back and we will read I Hunt Killers. I am really excited. I'm hopeful that when I get to the end, I can make a decision if I want to keep going with this series. But so far, I'm really liking it, so I will update you guys when I have read a bit more, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, friends. Do a bit of a quick update. Sorry if you can hear the vacuum in the back. I'm going to a live show in a couple of minutes. But I did wind up getting up to page 250 in I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. It is definitely getting interesting. One of the plot twists that I sort of saw coming was revealed about one of the characters, but it definitely did not go the way I thought it was. So I'm happy that it didn't go the way I thought it was, because that would have been a little bit tragic. I just like the dynamics between all the characters. I like that it is a murder mystery connected to his past. He also has a very dark past, and I feel like there's some stuff with his mom and his actual past connected to his dad that we haven't learned yet. I guess I'm curious for this book, because sometimes I know when we read the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, this is very similar to, because you do have like the killer's point of view, which is very similar to the Natural series. I wonder if you're going to follow one, like the Impressionist will be the killer throughout all the stories, or if there will be other mysteries in each book. So I don't know, but I do like it. I will probably definitely pick up book 2 as well. But so far, I'm really liking it. I'm going to go try to read. I'm going to a live show, so my dream would be to finish this book today, just join the live show, and then I'm going to go probably for a bike ride. I have caught up on my podcast. I have one more episode left, which is about 2 hours, but if I could go for a bike ride, I should be able to finish it. I also want to prep for tomorrow for work. We're heading back to work. I left my wallet here, so I couldn't go get the candy that I wanted for the kids, but I could do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm liking Jazz as the main character. Again, as I said in a previous clip, it's very rare do I find a book that has a male lead character, especially thrillers. So I'm really liking this. I'm liking the concept, and I hope to read a bit more. I will try to update you guys when I get up to page 300, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I'm back. I read to about 300 in I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. I'm also watching The Adam Project with Jennifer Gardner, Ryan Reynolds, and the new kid that's going to be the new Percy Jackson, and I sort of just want to watch that tonight. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just put on some true crime videos, like older ones that I've watched. I know. But I did catch up on my podcast, which is great, so I can like go into next week fresh. I picked a new audiobook, which I'm really excited about. So I'm gonna go wrap up the end of this book. It's really interesting. Again, I'm really curious how the story is gonna end. Like, if it's gonna pull like a story where there's one villain throughout the whole story, or there's multiple villains. So I don't know. I'm really interested though. I like the Impressionist thing. It sort of reminds me a little bit of the first ever Castle episode, which I've watched a lot of times because I like that episode quite a bit. But I'm gonna go read the last like 60 pages of this, and then I'll give you guys another check-in, and then we'll see what I'm in the mood to read, because this week coming up is a little bit chaotic. We will chat when we get there. Just checking back in. I wanted to say that we went finishing I Hunt Killers by Barry Lyga. I definitely am intrigued. This book did definitely not go the way at the very end that I was expecting, and I'm actually sort of surprised how this book ended. I really did like all the characters. I thought that the side characters really made the story even more fun. It also was a very different dynamic than like I've read, serial killer stories before. I really liked it. I gave this one probably like 4 stars. I definitely want to get book 2 and 3. I might do an order from thrift books eventually. So, the plan for this week is that it is going to be a testing week, which means I normally get a lot of physical reading done because, sorry, you can't see me, because I am doing like, I'm not a proctor, I'm just like in a random hallway. So, because of that, and because I didn't really read an adult fiction book, adult fantasy book this month, I have 3 options, and I'm super indecisive today, so I'm going to read the first chapter and then decide. So I'm going to choose between A Memory Called Empire, The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, and Daughter of a Moon Goddess by Sun Lin Tan. So, you know, I have been wanting to catch up on this series because I really do want to get to the Wax and Wayne series, and I know I have to read this first. This has been a book that's been on my every TBR since September, and this is a mystery thriller that I've been really excited for, but it is also science fiction, so I don't know. I've struggled a little bit with science fiction recently, but I'm going to give each chapter a chance, first chapter, and then also continue watching Adam Project. I'm going to reading sprints in a little bit. Hopefully by then I will have decided which book I am going to read. So I'm going to go finish watching the Adam Project, read a chapter in each, and then just tell you guys what I'm going to read. So hopefully I can do that in the next hour so I can go to reading sprints with a new book. If not, I'll do this during reading sprints, but talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I'm going to pick up Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It has been on my TBR for quite a bit of time. It's been on my TBR since September, and I would like to read it, so I'm going to do this, and then we will see how long this takes me. I'm also going to have another read this month, Bled and Daggered by Dan Jose Holder, which I'm going to read predominantly when I'm testing on Tuesday and Wednesday, which should be able to finish in those 2 days. But this will be my book I'm going to start reading tonight. I'm going to read Starting Sprints. I'm really excited. Sprints start in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to watch a little bit more of the Adam Project. And then I'll probably watch this as I'm watching Retrieving Books. So, I'm going to go do that. And if I don't talk to you guys tonight, I will talk to you guys tomorrow when I will have probably read a significant amount of more of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. I did end up changing the book I was reading. I picked up Bled and Daggered by Dan Jose Holder because I'm on a blog tour towards the end of the month. But since May is middle grade May, I do want to read a lot of middle grade books that month. So I'm trying to get done with all my EARCs that are like due before that because I still have a full week, and I have today and tomorrow. Today I had testing, so like I was in a hallway basically supervising the bathroom, but I could read during that time. Just don't tell nobody. But I did pick up Bled and Daggered. I don't know, I'm like really, it's like their first YA book and I'm just not clicking with it. I don't know if it's because like it's a lot of story. The mythology is like very unique, I will say that, and they have like a music component to it, but the music component is also corresponded with like another element which has to do with like raising island. It's called the Madrigals, which automatically reminds me of Encanto, so like it's just interesting. Like I like it, it's just not my favorite. I'm about an hour and a half left. I'm gonna try to read as much as I can tonight because I would like to read a thriller during work tomorrow. I have an EARC of one that I have to read for a blog tour, so that's sort of my goal, but it's like 6:16. I'm not having drama club this week. I'm not having drama club next week either because I have a prior commitment next week. And honestly, I'm just excited to see what next year brings because this club has not gone the way that I wanted it to, which is okay. I knew this year was going to be a bit crazy, but alas. So I'm going to go try to read another 30 minutes and see like where I am time-wise. I didn't really watch anything last night. I was just sort of like tired. I like watched a couple of puppy videos by Rosina Panzino and just sort of vegged. But yeah, so I'm going to read a little bit more. I didn't get any audiobook listening done today because I was testing and I have like very, very few periods off, but I didn't even grade today, which is so rare for me. So yeah, I'm going to go read a little bit more, see how I'm feeling about it. I have like an hour and a half left and I'm at 67%. So I'm definitely going to read for another 30 minutes and just sort of put something on the background because it's just not clicking with me, this story, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. I think that some people will really like it. It's just not clicking for me as much as I would have hoped. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I did wind up reading the hour mark, so I have about 57 minutes left. It's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's two very different concepts that are sort of mashed up. So you have this main character, and he lives in Brooklyn, which I like. I love books set in New York, and it has to do with a very divergent type of mythology, which I am intrigued by. But you have him he loves music. He's sort of always believed he would be a musician, but then he gets a shock that he is like a reincarnated god that is focused on healing. And that sort of is what the premise is. And then they have to sort of raise the city of Madrigal, which reminds me a lot of Encanto. I'm liking it. It's just, I'm not feeling connected to any of the characters. And like, it's just a lot of like, it just does, nothing feels really connected in the story. It's interesting though. Like, I'm reading it. I don't feel connected to anyone. So it's probably going to be like a 3-star read. Probably. This is their first middle grade story their first YA book. So I will definitely read more in this series in the future. It's just not my favorite. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll try to give you guys a check-in when I have about 30 minutes left and see how I feel. But it's just not my favorite right now. I just want to pop in before you see the next clip. I did wind up finishing Bled and Daggered by Dan Jose Holder. I finished it the first day of my test prep. Tuesday night, I think I finished it. I did like it. I was probably like a 3.75 star read for me. I just struggled to feel connected to the characters, but I enjoyed it. So definitely check out more books in that world. I just didn't feel as connected to the story as I wanted to. And then I wound up picking up Dig Two Graves by Gretchen Mcneil, in which I do explain the premise in the next little clip. But I don't have a lot left of the book because I read it on testing days, so I didn't wind up vlogging that. But you're gonna go see the next clip, and I hope it explains it. But I'll definitely give a better wrap up when I'm done with this reading vlog, which will hopefully be soon. Right here, I'm back. Yes, the past 2 days our testing days at my job, so like we test the kids, and then it's like just like a weird day. Always when we do testing, like we do testing Tuesdays and Wednesdays of the week, and we normally like this week was even worse because we just came back from a break. It's also even worse because we're heading to like the end of the year. Not really, but like some elements, yes, because like you really want to have your curriculum finished mostly by the end of June, by the end of May, maybe the first the first week of June, but you really want to have everything sort of established. And I still need to do a pretty big test for them, so trying to make sure that everything is sort of like all organized. We have time and we still grade them, but I like to have all my grades done by June 1st because I know June normally is a pretty chaotic month. Like a lot of things happen. We have a few days off. I know I'm going away before that. I'm going on a little mini vacation. We're also getting our puppy on Memorial Day. So I'm getting my puppy on Memorial Day, which I'm really excited about. And then I go away at the end of June. So like it's just a bit of a chaotic month. So yeah, but that went well. They got tested. Yeah, so we're in it. But next week I'm only working 3 days that week because we have off Monday for a holiday, and then Thursday I'm going to an event Wednesday night, and I don't think I'll wake up in time, so I'm taking the day off. I had personal days due to COVID. I really haven't used any of my personal days, so I was able to use it. So that's exciting, and I'll definitely talk about that event as it gets a little bit closer. But I am pleased to report that I am loving Dig Two Graves by Gretchen Mcneil. I'm on page 201. It's getting really, really good. So this book is, the premise is basically strangers you meet on a train. These two girls, they go to summer camp. I think I said this. And inadvertently they have a conversation about killing the other person's like enemy, or the person they're having the most issues with. And this girl named Diane, she goes through and winds up killing the first girl's best friend. And it's just a very complicated story. Like, it reminds me a lot of like watching Pretty Little Liars and being like, oh my god, what situations did you get yourself in? But I'm captivated. So I want to know what's going to happen. Like I do. So and I really wasn't in the mood to read for the past couple of days. So I'm going to just try to tackle the rest of this. I'm on page 200. I don't know what percentage that is, to be very honest with you, because it's on my Kindle, and sometimes reading on my Kindle, especially these books, I'm like 60% done. I have 134 pages left, if, my Kindle is to be believed. So really excited about that. I'm going to try to read at least 100 pages. Maybe I'll read 50 and I'll give you guys a status check. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Tomorrow's also Friday, so it's my favorite day of the week, but the days that the kids are the most chaotic. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to read a little bit and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I just want to do a quick update. I do wind up getting up to page 250 in my book. It's definitely getting really good. It's a very twisty, turny story. There's a lot of characters, a lot of names, and it's just very, very twisty, turny. But I'm really curious how this story winds up because Diane is such a good villain. Like, she really is, like, always. She reminds me a lot of Mona in the Pretty Little Liars series. Like, not like totally the same, but she's very, like, devious, and I really like that. So very, very interesting. I also got some heartbreaking, well, not heartbreaking news, but James Corden, who's one of my favorite late night hosts, is leaving in 2023. I sort of saw the writing on the walls, but I am really excited to see his last year. I know people have mixed opinions about James Corden. I personally really like him. I think him and his staff handled the pandemic in a really interesting fashion, and I really just enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see what comes next. Maybe we'll get a female late night host, which I'm really excited about, which I think would be really groundbreaking and would be so exciting. Because right now we just have white men on network TV. So I think it'd just be interesting. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Maybe talk about it with my students. But I'm going to go back to read and try to read another 50 pages. That's the goal. And then we'll see how, like, time-wise where we are. Because it's almost 7:20. And I really haven't watched anything this week, so I want to watch a couple of episodes of Friends, just because they're a little bit, like, lighthearted. But yeah, I'm going to go read some more about death and murder. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. It's Sunday. It's April 29th. I actually have some updates. I was talking about an event I was supposed to attend next Wednesday. I did take off of work on Thursday, so I was off anyway. But my friend Jen, who you've seen in a couple of my reading vlogs in the past, she got discounted tickets to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for $40, and I have really wanted to see the condensed version just for my own sake, just to, like, kind of compare and contrast the differences. So I am going to go to that. I was supposed to go to the Holly Black event, but I am not going to be able to attend it. I will probably pick up my book later that week and just, you know, keep my ticket and get the book signed. She wasn't doing, like, a real signing. She was just pre-signing the book, so I'm not really missing much, and I have heard her speak before. Also, FOMO is going to be real this weekend because it's Y'all Fest in California, and I'm unable to attend. But positive news, they are doing ARC drops at that convention. So I have hopes that when I go to ALA, and maybe when I go to New York City Comic Con, there will be ARC drops. I am hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. So yeah, this whole week was just weird. It's just a weird week because we came back from break on Monday. We had 2 days of testing, and then for me, as I said in my previous clip, or maybe not even the training vlog, we're also we're inching closer to the end of the year, and it brings out a lot of things. So it's just a bit of a complicated week. Next week, I'm only going to have a 3-day work week, which I think might make it a little bit easier for me because we do have off on Monday. So I did wind up finishing Dig Two Graves by Gretchen Mcneil. I'm going to put a picture here so you guys could see it. Here it is. Thoroughly enjoyed this book. And I normally say when I read thrillers, I struggle with thrillers because they always have unlikable characters that are really hard to get behind. This book, even though she wasn't, like, a traditional, like, heroine, she was interesting. I thought the thriller elements were great. It was such a fun read. Really, really reminded me of the elements of Pretty Little Liars that I loved, like a wild plot, unexpected plot twists, really complicated dynamics, and a shocking twist. So I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars. Also in this reading vlog, I finished reading I Hung Killers by Barry Lyga, which I gave 4 stars to, 3.75. I really did like that one as well. It was the first book in a new series, which I will probably try to get the second book as well soon. And then I also finished Ballad and Dagger by Dan Jose Holder. I liked it. I don't think it was my favorite Rick Riordan Present books ever, but it was okay. I read Dan Jose Holder and Gretchen Mcneil in, like, 2 days, so that's why this took a little bit longer, because the second day of testing was just really, really busy. So I am going to go set up my reading agenda for the next, well, the planning agenda for the next couple of you know, for the evening, because I do want to really relax this weekend. Again, it's just been a bit stressful, so I'm going to go do that. But thank you guys for watching my reading vlog. I will talk to you for my next one. Bye, friends.